I prostrate at the holy lotus feet of my Gurudev and seek his blessings so that the right words and expression come to my mouth while I speak. I prostrate at the holy lotus feet of Sri Krishna, who is none but the manifestation of my Gurudev. I prostrate at the feet of all the devotees who have assembled here in devotion, in love and in ecstasy, who are listening day by day the words that are being told here, which are being recited here. Jai Guru, Jai Guru, Jai Guru. Six days have passed and this is the seventh day. All these days, from morning till evening, we are only hearing of Lord Krishna and Lord Krishna alone. Sometimes the mind is overwhelmed with bhakti, sometimes it is jnana, sometimes it is vatsalya. And when we enter this Satrashala, we find a different atmosphere, an atmosphere charged with devotion, charged with love, as if the whole world does not exist. When I was contemplating on what I should speak today, the shloka that came to my mind is this. It is at the end of Bhagavata in 12th Skandha, where Shukadeva gives the last message to Parikshit. It's a beautiful shloka. One day when I was just turning the pages of Bhagavatam, I happened to come across this shloka. Vidyatapa prana nirodha maitri tirthabhisheka vratadana japyaihi natyanta shuddhim labhate antaratma yathadhidisthe bhagavatyanante. You know what this says? It says, whatever you may do, you may learn vidya, tapa, you may do austerities, you may do prana nirodha, that is pranayama, you may be very kind, very friendly to people. Tirtha abhisheka, you may go to various pilgrim spots. You may be doing abhisheka to the deities. Vrata dana japyehi, you may be doing charity. You may have taken a lot of vows. You may be chanting his name continuously. But, O king, Shuka is telling Parikshit, O king, you might have done all of this, but all this will not purify your heart as the presence of Lord Hari in the heart purifies it. The presence of Lord Hari, the presence of the Lord alone purifies us, nothing else. We may acquire a lot of wealth, we may have a lot of fame and name, beauty, many things, but nothing will purify the heart, O Lord, O King. This is the presence of Lord. Presence of Lord alone purifies the heart. Natyanta shuddhim labhate antaratma yatha hridisthe bhagavat yanante. The Ananta Bhagavan, the infinite Lord, the all-pervading Lord should be felt in the heart. So at the end of his instruction, Shukadeva tells Parikshit, what does he say? That you have to keep Lord Hari in your heart, okay? All your pursuits, you have taken to Prayogavesha, but your objective, your aim should be after listening, through the listening, to keep Lord Hari in the heart uninterruptedly, continuously. He says, Tasmat Sarvatmana Rajan Hridistham Guru Keshava. Tasmat Sarvatmana Rajan Hridistham Guru Keshavam Mriyamano Hyavatitasrato Tato Yati Paramgatim. So he says, O Raja, O King, so because to purify the heart, Lord Hari should be kept in the mind. So your wholesome aim should be to keep Hari in your heart. This comes at the end. What was the beginning? See, we have come to listen to Bhagavatam. I think all of you know the story. But the story should not be taken as story itself. What was the story? Parikshit suddenly got annoyed and the meditating Shunaka Muni who was sitting, he put a dead snake on his neck, thinking that the Muni is insulting him by not giving water to him, not getting up and welcoming him. These stories are not stories. We have to learn from them. What do we learn? You know what happened? When Shunaka Muni got up, he told his son, my son, I am very sad. You have cursed the Raja, you have cursed the king, but you have given a big punishment, a great punishment for a small mistake. The king is not an ordinary person. The king is a protector of Dharma. He is an expression of the divine. When the king is good, law and order situation in the country is good. We the ascetics even feel safe to do our asceticism, our tapasya. We are not fearful of thieves and robbers. So, my son, you should not have cursed this king who is so good, so noble. From this, what do we learn? That holy men, they do not retaliate. They do not take revenge. Even if they have power and they are insulted, they are beaten, they are belittled, they are deceived, they will not retaliate. They go beyond the gunas. They are not happy or elated. They are not elated or depressed by happy and sorrowful situations. You know, it is said, Yami Siddhapratyasya Lakshanani Tani Eva Sadhanani. What is that? Whatever is the qualities or characteristics of good, noble people, that should become the aim and pursuit and sadhana of ordinary people. So when we read these stories, we have to learn that we also have to be like this. What did Parikshit do? He was also a noble king. He would have thought, oh, this boy, he has cursed me. The small boy of the Shunaka Muni, he has cursed me. Let me see, I will take revenge. But he did not say that. What he said and what he thought was, he was gripped by repentance. He thought, what have I done? And when he heard that Takshaka will bite him after 7 days and he was to die, he thought, let the Takshaka come and bite me and my body be burnt up, let my whole kingdom get burnt up, but let me not make such sin again anymore, any day. He thought, this curse is a blessing because all along, though I was devoted to the Lord, I was attached to my body, my queens, my children, my wealth, my kingdom, my ministers and everything. I was devoted to the Lord, but not wholesomely devoted. I was only taking as a part-time pursuit. Now that the curse has come, I take it as a blessing. Because of this curse, my mind has started getting withdrawn from all these things and I feel dispassionate to the world. I feel that let me leave everything. All this time I have wasted. Let me now engage myself in the contemplation of the Lord wholesomely, without interruption, without the thought of anything else. So Parikshit took to Prayogavesha. He resolved not to take water and food. He went and sat by the Ganges and wanted to contemplate on Sri Hari, the Lord of the heart, to the exclusion of everything else. Mark these words. To the exclusion of everything else. The word that has been used in Bhagavatam is Mukta Samasta Sangaha. Mukta Samasta Sangaha. But being detached from all attachments, everything. Now we are attached to so many things. Just look at ourselves. Little things we are attached to, we are not able to leave. We want this, we want that. Some wants a job, some wants son to be married, daughter to be married, then a big house, a new car, bank balance, name, fame, so many things. We are attached and bound by everything else. Now the king understood, I have to be Mukta Samasta Sangaha. Bhagavata says, how can you become Mukta Samasta Sangaha? It says, have the association of the holy people, Sajjana Sangha. Now, when we become attached to worldly things, then we become bound. We become constricted. We are always dissatisfied because our attachment, when it brings about desires in our mind, the non-fulfillment of desires brings agitation to the mind. So when we are attached to the worldly things, we are bound. Bhagavata says that traction you turn towards Sajjana. That is also a Sangha, but Satsanga, Sajjana Sangha, Mahatma Sangha, Guru Sangha. Turn into that, then you will be free, you will be liberated. How? Because the Mahatmas will constantly tell you about how to become dispassionate, how to remove the attachment towards this worldly life.